Hello there, interwebs. Demajen here. We are going to wrap out Resident Evil 6. What a game this has been. We've got 4 chapters, four bits of the chapter to go through. Let's get this excitement finished. I don't know if we'll see anything new in this section. Whoa. Oh, do we get to do the helicopter bits? July the 1st. Is this where we get to shoot at Leon?
This is HQ requesting damage estimate. This place is done! FUWs everywhere!
Why is this so much louder?
She wasn't joking about raising hell.
Hey, Leon.
Leon.
Was that affection?
Ada, thought she was dead.
He doesn't. She doesn't.
Regroup while we can.
I can see an emblem there.
I'm beginning to feel like this has no bodyguard, Mr. Kennedy.
Aha!
That way!
I wonder if this is a part of Simmons' plans.
Again, even Simmons wasn't this sloppy.
This sucks.
We'll get through this. We've got to.
Can't help you there. The turret section isn't turned far enough.
You're on your own now, you two. It's getting a little crowded up here.
What?
Somebody ought to tell them their boss is retired.
Oh! Oh, I can actually move here. Shoot all the things. Oh, there's another one. Whoa. Oh yeah, I can move up. Hi. Just looking for blue things.
They're getting desperate.
Oh shit. That camera shake is obnoxious. Down you go.
That's a nice model. Wouldn't mind one of those for myself.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is getting old.
Oops. Kaboom!
All star, no substance. Typical.
Resident Evil 6.
Enough time here. Better get to the tower.
Hi, you guys.
Back for more.
I know what you did. Ada! You disobeyed me. You took Wesker's son away!
Did we?
Use that bastard's blood to make the virus stronger!
That's what Carla did.
That's what you get for trusting Ada Wong.
Big!
Wish you were here, Carla.
Whoa! Where'd he go? Who's that?
That's it. Show's over.
Oh, I've got missiles! He's going big again. Ah, yes. Stuff.
Get in.
Glad to see you're safe. Speed up!
Going as fast as I can!
Nope.
Here it comes. Get ready.
Look for it.
Unload on that fucking bastard!
Language, Leon. No! Our friend! Whose name...
I think we picked them off.
He's angry now. This is what you get for playing with the sea virus.
Chunky! But not that chunky!
Can't stay out of trouble, can you, Leon? And always one step behind.
Uh-huh.
You and Carla have left a lot of misery in your wake, Simmons. I'm gonna make sure it all ends here. Maybe I can at least buy these people some time. We've all seen enough senseless death going on.
Help! Pay attention, dude! Oops.
I hope they've got insurance. I'd like to do more. I really would. But carrying everyone out isn't an option. Excuse me. I'm trying to land here.
What's that? Yay! Oh, it's got a kiss on it.
Time to clean up the last of Simmons' mess.
Did we leave that for Leon? I know there's a lot of speculation that it's actually Claire that Leon is married to. Because he's wearing a wedding ring in Requiem. What is that? Oh, that's the spike zombie. Anything knocking around? Whee! Nice. That's a background texture. It's quite a long way down, isn't it?
Okay, last item
Ooh.
on the list. Eliminate all traces of the theft of my identity.
God, she's brave. Oh dear. I didn't make it out. I'd be quite interested actually to see what they did with a 2026 version of Ada. Because obviously Leon has aged quite gracefully, but Ada's older than him, from what I can recall. You know, there's not many female video game protagonists in their
Survivor.
late 40s, early 50s.
Oh well. No rest for the weary.
maybe that's the point of making sure that in Resident Evil 4... Well, that's not going to work, is it?
You really are a glutton for punishment.
Ow. Whoa. Whee.
Ada, welcome back. You finally come back to me.
Oh, really, mate?
We're destined to be together. You were never as perfect as the real Ada. It was a mistake. I made you. That means you must obey me. Don't worry. I'll fix it.
Those are terrible shots.
Each of you belongs to me. Give in to your friends. You can't live without me.
Dodged. Not dodged.
You're disgusting. Let's get this straight. I'm not your little doll, Simmons. In fact, the only thing I have in common with her is hatred for you. Appreciate the gesture, but I'm a person. I can handle this.
You took them outside when I sat on my throne. Why aren't you obeying me? You are my masterpiece, my beautiful creation.
Line up of perfect headshots. He's not behind us, is he? No. Ugh. Why is the gun always empty?
Ada, you can hear me. Do it now!
The competition.
The competition, you say? Because I heard a zombie. Scripted. Ada, no.
Ada! Elena, cover me.
Leon!
Ada, can you hear me?
Hey, lover.
This.
Oh. just randomly changing weapons.
Together.
Why?
Not if I can help it. Come on, wake up. If you're really Ada, I know you can pull through this. We both can.
Because I love you.
I was just resting my eyes.
Shouldn't sleep on the job.
In case you haven't noticed, Simmons doesn't take rejection well.
Is there some backstory I should know here?
Nothing worthwhile.
Oh, you're getting big. Scripted! No, Leon!
Do you want to live? Then beg for your life.
I'll pass.
Can't always get what you want, Simmons.
No!
Let's call this closure. You really should have moved on.
Whee! Oof. Toasty! I was making a point earlier about why they made Ada look more Asian in Resi 4 and Resi 2 remakes.
So cute. You're really confused by all this, aren't you, Leon? It's kind of fun to watch.
Ada!
Yeah. I find all the Leon Ada shipping very interesting because it's clear it's clear that they're perfectly unsuited for each other realistically. Tie up loose ends, you know, it would be an incredibly toxic cat and mouse.
This is where Carla did her experiments, huh?
But one thing that I will say, and kudos to the story for this, this has been the most time that we've ever actually spent with and in the mind of Ada. And it showed you a little bit more of the kind of softer sides of what she's really like. We know that she's definitely not got a heart of gold, but she is more compassionate than she's kind of let on in 2 and 4.
Another failure. Bring me another subject.
Bring me another.
Why do you think we had this lab built here in the first place? Just go outside. There's thousands of subjects to choose from. Tell Simmons that we're busy. I'm on the verge of solving this. Are you refusing my orders? You're the one who chose me as a test subject, aren't you?
No, it was Simmons. He forced me to. Please, don't do this.
Believe it or not, I said the exact same thing. Finally done it. This will be my greatest work yet.
Huh. Was there the implication there that they'd actually been successful in properly cloning Ada? Or is that what's in this tank here?
Or beyond sympathy at this point. We're beyond humanity.
Everything go boom. Everything burns. Hello?
A job, huh? Sure. My schedule just cleared.
It's oddly difficult to pin down Ada in terms of her motivation, and that is, of course, the point. But there's also, the more you leave a character like Ada completely ambiguous, the more options it gives you in terms of what you can do with her. You know, she can be whatever the story needs to be, essentially. But the longer you do that, the more the character can feel like a plot contrivance or plot device, as opposed to a character. So, in terms of, does Ada's campaign really add a lot? Not really. You know, you see a lot of things that you've already seen before from an ever so slightly different perspective. You get slight extra bits of dialogue that keep the ship alive between Ada and Leon. But it doesn't really add a lot, and I can see why it was kind of the left to last, shorter, more focused experience. It wouldn't have really worked with co-op. I don't know whether there is a way of doing co-op in this. I assume that nameless masked soldier on her selection screen might be there just to give some co-op possibility, but that I don't actually know how her campaign would work with co-op. Yeah, I mean that was fine. That was fine. You know, we got little bits more about the clone Ada and why she was there and how Simmons couldn't let go, or to be honest, it wasn't really told very well. You know, he had somebody turned into her, but the implication was that he loved the original person, Carla. I'm really unsure, and part of that is probably because I'm tired, and part of it is because of the bitty nature of the storytelling, and part of it is possibly just because I wasn't paying enough attention, which, considering I was playing this game for the story, is awkward. But there's also the fact that I had that 3 to 4 weeks where I didn't play. So all of the stuff from Leon's campaign was at least a month ago, I think, at this point. So yeah, but that's on me. That's not the game's fault, unless it is the game's fault, and I'm just putting the fault on my back when actually it is an issue with the game. It was fine. You know, The story of the game as an action game with Resident Evil elements. That was a fine action game story. It wasn't even a terrible Resident Evil story. But I think in some ways the repetition and the split campaign didn't necessarily lend well to the telling of that story. In terms of the gameplay, I did appreciate that they found out how to do moving and shooting. That was a step up from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I called official live. But there was so much in this that had really weird control bindings. And it felt like it was a game absolutely crammed with almost one-off mechanics and gimmicks. And I know that has tended to be a Resident Evil thing. You know, you have a gimmick section or a couple in a game. But it felt like an awful lot of time and effort had been put into these gimmicky cinematic sequences. Like all of the Ada helicopter stuff. It's like, I kind of appreciate that it's there. But again, it doesn't really feel like Resident Evil. No. For me, the weakest sections in Resident Evil 9 were the Leon sections, the more action-oriented. Not that they were bad, just that they were not as what I wanted as the Grace sections. You know, the more survival horror side of things. Which is one of the reasons why I think Resident Evil 7 is so good. Because it's all survival horror all the time. So yeah, I think the move away from the action game of Resident Evil 5 and 6 was the only real way that they were going to be able to get any kind of reset. Yeah, they needed to come away from this ambitious and probably expensive mess. I know that there are a lot of people that really like the multiplayer stuff in this. And I know, in fact, I was reading today that people are hoping that a mercenaries mode style thing will be coming in DLC for RE9. Obviously, I have no interest in that. I'm quite interested in story DLC. Although I'm not really sure what they do with it. I know there's a lot of people that want Ada-focused stuff, and I'd quite like to see what they've done with Ada. A more kind of older. I'm assuming she won't be quite as... Well, in theory, she wouldn't be quite as nimble. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying women in their 50s or late 40s. She is older than Leon, isn't she? I'm not saying that they can't be nimble. I'm just saying that in the same way that Leon is slower and more grounded in Requiem versus RE4, I think if Ada was shooting around and flipping like she does in this, that might be an issue. I'm kind of intrigued if there'll be any Chris-related stuff in RE9. Probably not. I don't really know what they'd focus on. The stories of Leon and Grace, they're kind of well-rounded. I would think. Don't know. Anyway, are we going to have an after credits scene for Ada? Aggressor. This has definitely been the longest Resident Evil game that I've played. I might go and look up actually how much it cost to make. I'm intrigued. Because there was a lot of voice talent in this. Yeah, well, a lot of the Critical Role guys are involved in this. Although 2013, they weren't quite there in terms of their infamy. I don't know why that logo's so pixely. I suppose the game wasn't designed to run at this resolution. After credits. Yes? No? Maybe? Abort, retry, fail? Complete Chapter 5 in Ada's campaign. Complete the entire game on amateur. And a dog tag. So no after credits sequence. Ada can now be used with the extra content. Huh. Split screen mode. Ah, here's the...
I believe we had a deal.
Oh, is that Jake?
Are you going to keep your promise?
Fair is fair, kid.
Huh? What? What kind of after credits sequence is that? Was that supposed to be set up for a Western game or something that they abandoned, or what? I just... Yeah, okay. I just want to see how much stuff I missed for Ada. I've been back and I've done all the Leon stuff. Just... Page down. Sure. Okay, so we missed a load of stuff for Chris. Yeah. Leon S. Kennedy? There. What is that? Oh, it's Ada and her sub.
I'm just here to find out what you're up to.
Sure, okay. One thing I will say that they did quite well was the kind of strandy, fleshy stuff in this game. That worked quite nicely, in my opinion. Is that Chris punching a boulder? No, it's just Chris being buff. Not quite as buff as he is in Resident Evil 8, admittedly. And yes, I got all of those. That was Resident Evil 6. A bit of a mess. Bit of a mess. But you know, it could have been a lot worse, I think. I was expecting it to be an abomination, based on what I've been told, and in some ways it very much was. Yeah, was it a good Resident Evil game? No. Was it a good action game? Not great, really. But it was very much a product of its time. I think very much it was designed with consoles in mind, and keyboard and mouse implementation was iffy, but I just don't play any kind of shooter on a controller unless I absolutely have no other choice. And that never happens, because the other choice is, of course, I just don't play it. It's why I'm very disappointed that Saros, the new Housemarque game, has become a PlayStation 5 exclusive, as opposed to coming out on PC like people expected it to, because Returnal was great on PC with a keyboard and mouse, but I didn't like it at all on a controller, and I tried it on both. You know, don't get me wrong, you know, the haptic feedback on the triggers and stuff on the PlayStation 5, it's like, yeah, it's alright. But the speed of that game and the speed of my aim are not similar things. So, yeah, I play shooters on the PC with the keyboard and mouse, always. I just, if it wants me to use the controller, I just generally don't play the game. And yes, I played a little bit of this on the controller, and no, it didn't feel awful, but it felt very unnatural, and I have no desire whatsoever to get good at doing that. So, yeah, I feel like the PC keyboard and mouse controls were very much an afterthought. I could maybe have spent more time actually looking at them and setting them up and so on and so forth, but I'm lazy, I think is what that boils down to, and I just didn't care enough. So, played it on amateur, got my experience with the story. It was a gimmicky mess, and I think that kind of sums up my thoughts on the game as a whole. You know, did I engage with all the mechanics? Definitely not. I know at least a couple of people have said in comments this, like, you could do this with Leon. It's like, I think I vaguely recall a tutorial for like a quick shot mechanic or something like that. But at no point did I work out his dual gun mechanic. It was only until I saw the stuff in Jake's campaign where it taught you about swapping ammunition types. It's like, oh, I could probably have done that for Leon. And it probably did show me that for Leon, but I missed it. Or maybe I didn't miss it and used it once and then forgot about it, because that happens a lot as well. Anyway, that was Resident Evil 6, which means that I have now played 0, 1 remake, 2 remake, 3 remake, 4 remake, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Did I say 0 at the start of that? I meant to, but I've also played that one. Which means that I have not played Code Veronica, which you can only get on like really old platforms, because there's been no re-release or anything of that as far as I'm aware. I think, is there a Dreamcast version or something like that? I also haven't played Resident Evil Revelations or Revelations 2, though I have both of them, and I'm probably going to play them next just because. I've heard they're not great. But I think I've also heard that they're better than this. So, you know, that's going to be an interesting one. But there's loads of Resident Evil games. I'm just filling in a few gaps just because I want to. I've also got the Rose DLC for Resident Evil 8 and the Separate Ways DLC for Resident Evil 4 Remake to play, which I've been meaning to do for a while. But, you know, I do weird things and I do them in a weird order. I'm going to go. Thank you very much for sticking with this if you have somehow made it to the end. I think the last 2 or 3 episodes I've had more jokes and fun, quote unquote, with recording this. But I don't necessarily think that's the game's... I don't think that's anything to do with the game. I think that's more just due to my general fragile mental state. Have a great day. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.